Good morning friends. Today we are going to discuss on the torsion of circular shaft. In torsion of circular shaft, first we have to go for the assumptions in the theory of pure torsion, and these assumptions we are used for the deriving the torsion equation. First we go for the assumption in the theory of pure torsion. So these are the different assumptions we are using in the deriving the torsion equation. So the first assumption is the material of the shaft is homogeneous and isotropic. The homogeneous is the material is made of same kind throughout, and isotropic is the elastic moduli are same values in all the directions. And second assumption is the normal cross section of the shaft are plane before twist and after twist. There is no warpage effect. That is before twisting moment or turning moment, or the after twisting moment or turning moment, the shaft cross section remains plane. There is no any warpage takes place. And third assumption we are using, the stress is directly proportional to strain within the elastic limit. So that is Hooke's law, but in the torsion condition the shear stress is directly proportional to shear strain. So within the elastic limit, that is nothing but we can take it as the G as rigidity modulus, or modulus of rigidity, the stress divided by strain, shear stress divided by shear strain. And fourth assumption, the twisting along the shaft is uniform. The twisting along the shaft is uniform, and along the length the twisting moment or turning moment or torsion is uniform. Both are same. The fifth, fourth and sixth point are similar manner, similar meaning. And the fifth assumption is the circular section remains circular, thus the radii remains straight after torsion is nothing but the after torsion or the twisting moment, the cross section of the circular shaft remains circular in nature. There is no any changes happened in the radius or radii. Now we can go for the condition of derivation of the torsion equation. Derivation of the torsion equation also consists of two segments. One is the shear stress produced in a circular shaft subjected to torsion, and also the second segment is the relationship between the torque and the shear stress in a circular shaft. These two conditions if we discuss, then the derivation of the torsion equation can be obtained. So that is the final equation will be obtained in this manner, that is T by J is equal to tau by R is equal to G theta by L. So now if you see in this particular sketch, consider a shaft of length L. Shaft length is L, and also the diameter is D. The diameter we are taken for the bar or the shaft is D, and bar or the shaft is fixed at one end. Fixed at one end, that is P, and it is fixed, and free at the other end. Free at the other end, and the PQ is the point. PQ or the center line, or the anywhere on the line on the circumference of the shaft, that is PQ on the outer surface of the shaft. If the bar or the shaft subjected to a twisting moment T, the bar subjected to or a rod or the shaft subjected to twisting moment or the turning moment at the free end side, then the PQ point is shifted to new position. the Q is shifted to new position. The Q is shifted to new position of what? The Q dash. Q dash. Therefore, whatever the angle between the PQ and the PQ dash is known as the phi. This phi is nothing but shear strain. And angle between the OQ and the OQ dash in the side view. OQ and the OQ dash in the side view. If you see the side view, it is a circular in nature, circular cross section. In this, whatever the changes obtained, OQ is changes to position to OQ dash. This is nothing but the angle of twist theta in a length of L. So now the derivation starts from Hooke's law. According to Hooke's law, the modulus of rigidity G is equal to shear stress by shear strain. Shear stress is notation is tau and shear strain notation is phi. Now we go for the shear strain. Shear strain is equal to distortion per unit length. Distortion means so whatever the change is obtained in the twisting moment or the turning moment. So the distortion at the unit length, per unit length. So what is the distortion? Distortion at the outer surface of the bar or the shaft to the original length of the shaft. Original length of the shaft is PQ and distortion of the surface, outer surface is QQ dash. So QQ dash as it is you can take, and L is the length of the shaft. So what is QQ dash? QQ dash is actually the arc length. This arc length will be obtained by the end view or the side view is nothing but r into theta. We know the relationship between the arc length is equal to relationship between the product of radius and angle subtended. That's why r into theta. This r theta you can substitute at the place of this QQ dash. Then you get the expression of the shear strain is r into theta by L. This phi, that is shear strain, you can substitute in the equation 1. Again, equation 1. What equation 1? Equation 1 is G is equal to shear stress by shear strain. Shear stress is tau. Yes. Shear strain is r theta by L. Now you can cross multiply like this. Finally, you get the expression tau by r is equal to g theta by L. Tau by r is equal to g theta by L. This is equation 2. Now the next second case or condition for the expression of the torsion equation is the relationship between the torque and the shear stress in a circular shaft. In this condition, we consider one of the elementary strip, one of the elementary ring or the strip in a circular shaft. In this strip, so we take from the center, overall radius is capital R or the capital R, overall length and the overall radius, and the inner radius up to the ring is small r, and dr is the thickness of the elementary ring, and whatever the stress or the shear stress obtained from this elementary ring is known as what? Q. That is the changes happen in the relationship between the torque and the shear stress in a circular shaft. So in the elementary ring condition, the shear stress is, we take it as what? Q, and in the elementary ring condition, the radius changes into R. These two parameters corresponding to this two. See, last expression, equation 2, tau by r is equal to, from the equation 2, tau by r is equal to g theta by L. In this, also written as equal to Q by R. What is Q? Shear stress. And what is R? Again, radius for the elementary ring from the center of the shaft. And Q is the shear stress for the elementary ring condition. This you can take it as equation 3. But actually, the relation is related to torque. That's why we go for the torque. Torque on the elementary ring is equal to delta T equal to, what is torque? Torque is equal to force into distance. Torque is equal to force into distance. So that's why F into D. Then delta F for the elementary ring and distance of the ring from the center. Now we first expression for the delta F, that is shear stress on the force on the elementary ring. See, the force, if comes in our mind, force is equal to what? Stress into area. Stress into area. Stress into area. What type of stress here? Stress is shear stress. Stress into area. Now, the stress is shear stress into area. So, what is shear stress notation for the elementary ring? Q. What is the area of the ring? Delta A. That's why. So, these two parameters you can extract. Where? From the equation 3. See on the right side. From the equation 3, we modify like this. So, that is tau by R is equal to Q by R. This tau by R is equal to Q by R. We modify, cross multiply this R. Then you get Q is equal to tau by R into R. What about delta A? Delta A is the area of the elementary ring. That is circumference into distance or the thickness. That is 2 pi R into dr. So you remember this area equation and substitute this delta A and also the Q, this both in the expression of delta F, then Q plus tau by R into smaller, then 2 pi R into dr. Delta F is equal to tau by R into R square, 2 pi as it is in the dr. Now we finally express the delta T. Delta T is equal to what? Delta F into distance. Delta F is this full expression. Tau by R into 2 pi R square into D into R. That is also written as tau by R into 2 pi R cube into dr. Now integrate this delta T. You can get T equal to integration of limit 0 to R for the tau by R into 2 pi R cube into dr. Take the common terms, tau by R, constant terms outside, tau by R into 2 pi, integration of 0 to R into R cube into dr. So R cube into dr is in the form of integration of x to the power n. Now we can get the equation tau by R into 2 pi into R power 4 by 4, x to the power n plus 1 by n plus 1, 0 to R. Then tau by R is equal to 2 pi into, this is R capital to the power 4 divided by 4. 2 1s are and 2 1s are and 2 2s are cancelled. Finally, capital R is nothing but radius equal to diameter by 2, half of the diameter. Radius is half of the diameter. Substitute at the place of capital R d by 2, then you get tau by R into pi d power 4 by 16, because 2 power 4, 16 into 2. 16 twos are 32 pi d power 4 by 32. But in pi d power 4 by 32 is the expression for polar moment of inertia. The notation is Jp. If you replace at the place of pi d power 4 by 32 Jp, then your expression will be T by Jp is equal to tau by r. Jp is nothing but polar moment of inertia. So T by Jp is equal to tau by r, equation 4. Now if you observe the equation 2 and 4, see equation 2 is tau by r is equal to g theta by L. Tau by r is common. And in this also equation 4 also T by Jp is equal to tau by r. Tau by r common. That's why we write it as combine the equation 2 and 4. Finally equation is T by Jp is equal to tau by r equal to g theta by L. T by Jp is equal to tau by r is equal to g theta by L. In this equation, T is nothing but twisting moment or turning moment in Newton millimeter, and Jp is the polar moment of inertia in mm to the power 4, and tau is the shear stress in Newton per mm square, and r is the radius of curvature in mm, or the radius of the shaft in mm, and g is the modulus of rigidity in Newton per mm square, and theta is the angle of twist in radians, and L is the length of the shaft. This equation is known as torsion equation.